Whew. Hey everybody, Mike, Mountain Weekly News. Oh man, it's been a minute. My snowmobile broke down. Got it up and running again. It was a rotted fuel line, for whatever that's worth. Today I am testing out the Nitro Vertical Splitboard Bindings, the Nitro times Spark. As you can see, this is basically going to be the same exact setup that Spark's using. Same touring brackets, heel risers. The binding is very, very similar, and I'll kind of go over what I'm seeing with the binding here. Okay, so this is the Nitro Vertical Binding. One of the things that some of these straps have been using lately, the companies, is this Vibram strap. It's got some extra kind of rubber dampening in the middle. But when I think of Vibram, I typically think of boot soles. So that is part of the Vibram. What I really like about this binding is Nitro uses this big burly fucking strap. It's super soft, super comfortable, definitely similar to what they would be using with their snowboard bindings. And then this is kind of unique here. For actually adjusting the binding, this is going to be toolless, so when you're out in the field you can just certainly split that, open that up if you needed to adjust your binding real easy. For the high back, I'm going to get some shit for this, but I do not adjust my high backs when I'm touring, and I see no need for the negative lean. But with this one, real easy. It's simply a push button to adjust the high back. You just simply push on that and you can adjust it back. So that's real easy, real clean. One other thing. The pads, 3M pads. This comes standard with this binding. I believe Spark should do this for all their bindings. I don't know why anybody would want a metal binding chattering up through the board, through your feet, without having a little extra padding. I mean, gosh, this is why they're putting the Vibram padding here. This is why they're putting the extra padding on the straps. As far as taking the binding on and off, it's going to be very similar to what you're probably used to seeing here. You simply reach up on the latch, and what I like to do is kind of pull off the heel cup. One of the things you'll notice with these Spark bindings is you can kind of see damage to the top sheet that happens. This is pretty standard, you know, you're kind of sliding something on and off. I use the volet pucks. I use these soft pucks. I actually had an issue last year on a board that I jumped off a cliff, and I managed to snap the puck, and in turn I bent the frame of the binding. I'll see if I can put a picture of that up. Had I been using all metal pucks, that energy would have transferred up to my knee and I would not be snowboarding today. There is zero chance of that happening. One other thing you'll notice with the Spark setup, and Union does this sometimes too, nobody's really been talking about this, and it's because everybody is complete Spark fanboys. Look at this gap right here at the top. What happens is, when you actually put the bindings on, I'm gonna move this over. Hold on, let's put this over here so you can see. Hold on, we'll edit that. Okay, so when I go to mount the bindings, there's no gap, as you can see. Everything is tight, okay? But as soon as you go to slide that on, as soon as you slide it on, bam, that just happened. So what's happening is that energy is just enough to kind of move the binding around. There was a guy in Colorado, oh God, I forgot what his name is offhand, and he had actually put a little piece right here that kind of went over the board and helped connect it. I do think with splitboarding there's probably an opportunity to do that. Maybe somebody needs to invent it, but there still is a little bit of play. Personally, I don't care. I've had people be like, holy shit, I can't believe you're riding like that. I ride powder. That's never going to be an issue, because if that was an issue, these tail hooks would become an issue, which they have yet to become an issue. So that is the Nitro binding. I'm going to go ahead and put it into tour mode and go for a little tour. Okay, so now if we're going into tour mode, super easy. I'm going to pull the binding off. I'm going to separate the board. What I really like about the Sparks, you can clank them together. You never have to worry about that. Great way of shedding snow. Buckles always on the outside. It's going to use that. Everybody talks shit on a pin. This is essentially a pin, except the pin just stops in the middle. Basically, this is going to go in the way that all the Sparks go in. Real easy, and then you push down on the snap block. So again, we're going to do that one more time. We're going to take the binding. We're going to line up these little holes, these little kind of inserts. We are going to push them through, whoop, and then simply push down on the tow ramp, and now you're locked into place and ready to tour. I'm on the Solomon Taka split. This is my go-to split if I'm not testing gear, and I actually have a lot of gear I need to test right now, so that shows how much I love this setup. I noticed today it's only a 158. Typically I'm in the backcountry on a 161, but the trend is kind of boards are getting smaller. I definitely wouldn't go on one of those funky little shapes, but if you're setting your boards in the back seat, like I said, all mine, and you like to lean back and ride powder, it's not really going to matter if you downsize a few centimeters, and you might actually notice the board's a little bit more nimble. If you wear nitro boots like I do when I'm splitboarding, I believe these are the incline TLSs. Those are going to fit the best into this binding. Obviously, kind of like Burton snowboards did. The Burton boot binding combo is far superior than most other combos. That'd be like if Vans made bindings. Their boots would definitely fit their bindings. So with the nitro, if you are running nitro boots, that might be something to consider. The only hiccup is I'm pretty sure this binding is sold out. Last year it was sold out. Normally I get stuff to test. I could not get these. I had to order them from France. It was like $500, and that's kind of where we're at right now with splitboarding and supply and demand. Nitro also used their own straps and ratchets. I really like how burly that ratchet is. Put it in. Real nice. Again, same on the toe. Just a nice strong set of ratchets. I really like the way these nitro bindings tour. That's my skin track, or lack thereof. Probably a couple hours today of putting the skin track in. Deep snow. The nitro binding is going to be a little heavier than your traditional Sparks, but with that trade-off comes comfort. I'm not out here counting milligrams, and if you are, you should be on that amplid milligram and hard boots and real light gear. Okay, well, the skin track's getting steep now that I'm putting in. Going up there. Okay, taking the bindings off is super easy. What I like about this, literally one finger, bam, off. Same thing, bam, off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the board back together, go into ride mode, and yeah. Drop it in, little run here. Woo! It took a while to get up here, so I'm only gonna get one run. Oh, shit. Okay, I think I'm ready. Yeah, boy. Oh shit. Okay, coming. Deep, untracked. Should we hit this? Why not? Whee! Yeah, dude. Hopefully ride this most of the way back. Oh, good. Psyching. Psyching. Oop, not that way. Oh, a little steep.